What's up guys, welcome back to another video. In this video you are going to realize, should you be waiting for the market to drop or not? What are the pros and cons? See you inside. Alright guys, welcome back to this video, and I think if you are in the real estate space or are even looking for a home and you are waiting for this market to drop, my personal opinion is you might be making a mistake. Now, regardless of you being a real estate investor, a realtor, or like I mentioned, waiting for the right time to buy your home, you could be making a mistake in my opinion, and let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with the first factor, and that is the interest rates and loans given out right now. As a moment in time, as I'm recording this video, the interest rates are all-time lows. I do not see that changing anytime soon. As I've recorded this video, we just went through this incredibly awful political situation, and so hopefully we're seeing our way out of the end of that, but I do not see the Fed increasing interest rates as a moment in time, so it's going to remain relatively low, I would say well into the first quarter. Now, what does that mean? If you're waiting for the market to drop, it likely won't happen as long as the interest rates are an all-time low. They work together. Now, could it? I guess it could, but the reality is if the market starts to drop, likely you're gonna see interest rates going up, and in that case, you have to make a pretty quick decision. So, if you're out there as a realtor or even looking to buy your own home, you need to take into account of how low the interest is, and if you're gonna be buying it for a long period of time, you have an incredible way to actually save money in the long run because your interest rate is low. Regardless if you're paying a little bit more, let's just call it 10%, you actually are paying less interest and paying down your equity much faster. So it might be a mistake if you're waiting and holding out until the market to drop. Now, as a real estate investor, I always want the best deal, so I am absolutely not suggesting you go out and pay top dollar and pay the premium price, but I will say this. There's a lot of unneeded chaos in the real estate market right now, and in large part it's because the ends of our country, the Californias to New Yorks, they're coming inward. So if you are in a state in middle America, you're likely going to see prices continue to rise. Even a state like Arizona that I would not consider middle America, our prices are continuing to rise now for over a decade and it's still going. It's incredible. And what I'm getting to is that actually is artificially made because of the vast mass exodus coming from California and other states like New York. So if you're sitting there waiting, it might be a long time before you actually get the home of your dreams. Now, as an investor, I always want the best deals I possibly can get my hands on, but if I'm waiting for the market to drop before I go big in the investment space, I simply am just wasting time and potentially costing myself a ton of money and at least opportunity cost. I have a good friend right now who's only doing fix and flips. He does not do much, if any, wholesaling, and he is murdering it and has been for the last 12 to 24 months because here in Phoenix, our market continues to appreciate. While I've really focused a lot of my time on the wholesaling component, primarily because I've been through this little thing before called the Great Recession, and I felt the pain through that, I've been probably more cautious than he has. And I can tell you firsthand, he is actually taking much more advantage of this. It is riskier, but his profit margins are much bigger than mine because the market continues to appreciate. So even if he buys it and it's a good deal as he buys it, 90 days later, there's likely another 2, 5, 10% appreciation on it, and he even makes more money. Now, I'm fine, I'm doing great wholesaling, it's wonderful, but I will tell you, if we looked at profit margin per deal, he is absolutely winning, and I am losing out on that per deal. So I have to stick to volume and keep doing volume at a rapid rate. I'm doing anywhere from 10 to 20 every single month, where he really only has to do 2 or 3. Waiting for the market to drop, regardless if you buying your own home yourself or if you're an investor and you're trying to capitalize on a depreciating market and getting all that equity and while that sounds great in theory and sometimes even in practice, I think the world, both in the political, financial, and real estate sector, has so much chaos happening, it may not always be the most prudent choice to sit on the sidelines and wait. Now, being through some of this chaos before and having felt some of the pain of making some mistakes and being too aggressive when I should have been more cautious, I can respect those that are being a little bit more cautious or at least want good or great deals. Totally respect that. I myself am being a little more cautious this time around than last time. But I can tell you, measuring what you're actually wanting and putting yourself on the sidelines to get there until that one day actually happens. Let me give you some perspective. If Phoenix continues to appreciate the way it has been, let's just say it takes 6 months or another 12 months to have some sort of rollback or correction, let's call it. And no, I'm not saying a recession, I'm saying maybe a little correction. We've been appreciating at a pretty strong clip for quite some time now. Even if it takes another 6 or 12 months to get there, and who really knows when that's gonna happen, you just missed out on that 6 or 12 months of making money while it is appreciating. Now, I understand the risk is what if it corrects sooner? Completely understand that. But even the basis of if it started correcting today versus starting to correct in 12 months, you might actually be at the very same point. In 12 months, the correction may only get you to the same point that we're at today, whereas if you are investing today or the correction happens today, which it won't, that is the point I'm trying to make, then yes, the correction would take you south of that or lower than that. But if it keeps going at the rate that we are appreciating, it would take a pretty strong recession to bring it past that correction point. I hope you guys are following me here. Ultimately, it doesn't seem like it would hurt you unless something happened right now. Now, as I mentioned, the interest rates are really low. There doesn't seem to be anything on the economic view, the economic radar, that would force some sort of mass recession within the real estate market. There are things in the commercial sector that could be a little questionable. It does seem like the residential sector is strong. The interest rates are low. It seems like a pretty safe bet, and you could be missing those opportunities to continue to make money and create a name for yourself, which is part two. This is where the people who are sitting on the sidelines are actually hurting themselves in a way that to me is directly connected to dollars, but maybe they don't think so. You are trying to get market share. Market share really is really important, and I'll give you one simple example. I actually recently ran into someone at the grocery store who came up to me because he sees my emails and he follows me through social media. He sees the volume of wholesales I do, and he came up to me asking if I was Justin Colby, and I said yes. And then he talked to me about some of these off-market properties that he has as a realtor, and that he would like to send them to me to see if there would be a play, since he can't list them. They're not good listing properties. So I've created market share because I'm in the game doing deals, and now people are coming to me and feeding me opportunity that I may not have if I was just sitting on the sideline holding all my money waiting for that right day. That could really hurt my business. This is also why I tend to be leaning into wholesaling more so right now than rehab flipping. Not to say I'm not, because I'm actually rehab flipping a condo right now. I'm just not taking on massive projects. But my point being is the market share that I'm gathering as others may be even more conservative than me. They're sitting on the sidelines. They're waiting for that perfect day. I don't believe that perfect day will ever come. I appreciate them being conservative, but you're losing market share. People like myself are gaining market share, which continues to gain more notoriety and more opportunity starts to come my way. And when things do go south, I do believe at some point there will be a rollback. I do believe at some point there will be some uptick in interest rates and correction in the real estate market. When that happens, I've now created more and more market share for myself. I become the expert, the go-to guy. I'm gonna continue to get even more market share during those times because everyone will be giving me those opportunities that they don't know what to do with. To sum it all up, guys, by the way, if you are enjoying this, hit the like button, smash that subscribe button. To sum it all up, guys, I really don't believe in being ultra bullish. I don't want you to go take on projects that are going to be huge or buying a house way over your budget if you're buying something personal. But I will tell you this. The day may not come for any type of rollback or market correction for quite some time. And if that day comes, you might ultimately be right back at the numbers that we're at today. And ultimately you waited that much longer to either get deals done, make money, or get your own personal home. And if you are an investor, you are absolutely losing market share. I hope this helps you guys. I hope it helps the way you're thinking. As I've said, I'm not telling you to be ultra bullish and take on big, adding square foot value add projects. I myself, I'm pretty conservative when it comes to what I'm actually flipping and rehabbing. Like I mentioned, I'm doing a pretty small condo as a moment in time, and I'm wholesaling everything else. But I do believe if you sit on the sidelines, you're wasting your talent, your opportunity that could be continuing to come to you. And as I've mentioned, there's a lot of money in the game right now. There's a lot of money moving out from both the coasts into middle America. And for those of you out there trying to buy your own home, what's more important, a low interest rate for 30 years or a lower price? With a higher interest rate, you start to do the math, it might make sense to have a lower interest rate and a higher price because you're paying less interest over a long period of time. You just got to math that out. Hopefully you find this well. Shoot any comments below. If you're interested in talking to me or any of my team members and want to jump on a strategy session, just go to thescienceofflipping.com. Thescienceofflipping.com, a ton of free resources as well, is an opportunity to schedule a call with me and my team. Talk to you guys sooner. Peace.